Welcome back to part 2 of 21 Pilots' Vessel album. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, please make sure to click the link in the description or in the top right corner to watch part 1 first. We're going to pick up right where we left off with the next song. I think that Semi-Automatic is a song about the inner conflict of self-control. In other songs we've already covered on this channel from other albums, Tyler has sung about his struggle with sin. This song describes that sin as automatic. Anyone who has struggled with compulsive habits or addictions knows what this is like. It's not that you want to sin all the time, but it often feels like there's a part of you that just is running automatically. That's what this song is about. There's a part of Tyler that runs automatically, and that's why he describes himself as semi-automatic. It actually reminds me of what Paul says in Romans 7. For what I am doing, I do not understand. For what I will to do, that I do not practice. But what I hate, that I do. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, nothing good dwells. For the will is present with me. But how to perform what is good, I do not find. For the good that I will to do, I do not do. But the evil I will not do, that I practice. Romans 7, 15, 18, and 19. This is a biblical struggle with finding the self-control to will yourself towards doing good things and away from doing bad things. It's the same struggle Tyler describes in this song. I'm never what I like, I'm double-sided, and I just can't hide. I kinda like it when I make you cry, cause I'm twisted up. I'm twisted up inside. If you've watched any of our other 21 Pilots videos, or if you're familiar with their music at all, then you know this kind of language is really common in their songs. Tyler often describes himself as having two sides. There's a good side and a dark side. This song really emphasizes that. The dark side of him is the side that runs automatically and is difficult to control. Later in the song, Tyler repeats these lines, which are kind of difficult to decipher. I'm semi-automatic, my prayer's schizophrenic, but I'll live on, yeah, I'll live on. I think I've already laid out what it means for Tyler to be semi-automatic, but it's hard to know what he means by his prayer being schizophrenic. I think he's describing what we often see in the Psalms. If you ever read the Psalms in the Bible, sometimes you'll read Psalms where David is in anguish and he's calling out to God in desperation. Sometimes he's asking if God is really there or if he's been forgotten. There are hints of doubt. Other times, David is praising God joyously and thanking him for blessings. That's what it can be like listening to 21 Pilot songs too. There are songs where Tyler is more hopeful and joyous, and there are songs where it sounds like he's really doubting and struggling. So maybe that's what he means when he says that his prayer is schizophrenic. Maybe it means that sometimes he's on fire for God and other times he's doubting God. Ultimately, I think Semi-Automatic is a song that describes the battle between wanting to do good and avoiding bad, but being drawn towards sin automatically. Screen is a song about being vulnerable and transparent. The main metaphor Tyler uses in this song is a screen on his chest. It's like a window that lets you see inside of him, so his heart is vulnerable and exposed. The Bible tells us that God is really the only one who can see inside of us. Only He knows our hearts and our intentions, and what we're really thinking about. For the Lord searches all hearts and understands all the intent of the thoughts. 1 Chronicles 28:9. For you alone know the hearts of all the sons of men. 1 Kings 8:39. This is why at the beginning of the song, Tyler acknowledges the futility in trying to hide from God. He sings, I do not know why I would go in front of you and hide my soul, because you're the only one who knows it. Like I already explained with those Bible verses, God already knows our every thoughts and intentions. That's why it's pointless to try to hide from Him. It can't be done. Especially because Tyler says he has this screen on his chest, which again is a symbol for his transparency. Don't know why I think I could lie, because there's a screen on my chest. One of the lines that Tyler repeats in the song is, we're broken people. Of course, like most 21 Pilots songs, this song also emphasizes his internal struggles mentally. That's what it seems like he's singing about here. But this recognition that he's not alone in his struggle is very powerful. We're all broken people. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, Romans 3:23. Ultimately, this song is about feeling exposed and vulnerable, but through it you can find some comfort knowing that you're not alone and that you're not the only one struggling. I don't have much to say about the run and go. This song seems to be about feeling guilty and seeking an escape from that. Tyler uses the imagery of having killed a man and being on the run from that crime. This is speculative and we can't know for sure, but in several other songs, he's written about feeling guilty for Jesus' death. I think it's highly likely that this song is another song where he's referencing how he feels guilty and responsible for the crucifixion. So when he sings, I have killed a man and all I know is I am on the run and go, I think it's likely that he's referencing Jesus' crucifixion and he's saying that he's responsible for it. Unfortunately, in this song, he describes being on the run from that crime. It's like he's trying to run away from his sins and his guilt instead of facing it. It's ironic given that the last few songs have all been about how God is necessary and unavoidable, but that's just my interpretation of this song. It's kind of hard to tell what it's truly about. I think Fake You Out is another song about putting on a facade. It's about hiding your struggles and pretending to be someone you're not. When Tyler sings in this song about faking someone out, he's talking about pretending to be someone else to hide his faults. Interestingly, I think that there are lines in this song where he's singing to God. I'll never be what you see inside. You say I'm not alone, but I am petrified. You say that you are close. Is close the closest star? You just feel twice as far. You just feel twice as far. Here, Tyler starts by saying he'll never be what God sees in him. It's like an acknowledgement that God is perfect and Tyler is not. Tyler will never live up to God's perfect standard. As I keep sharing, we all fall short of God's glory. Then he sings about how alone he feels and how distant he feels from God, even though he knows logically that God is close with him. God says that he's close to us all the time. But Tyler asks if close is the closest star, once again referencing the sun, and asking if God is that close to us, because he feels twice as far away from God as he does to the sun. And remember in car radio, I talked about the importance of being able to sit in silence to be able to hear from God? Well, Tyler actually acknowledges that biblical truth in this song. I'm so afraid of what you have to say, because I am quiet now, and silence gives you space. In this song, Tyler is noting that his silence gives God space. He's afraid of what God might say or do, but he's finally learning to be still and to let God speak. This to me feels very different from car radio, where Tyler was scared to sit in silence because of what his own mind might say. Now he's scared of silence because of what God might say. Once again, this song also harps on his guilty feelings over his sin. I have committed dirty, dirty crimes that are perfectly form-fitted. These lines match the recurring theme about Tyler feeling guilty for his sins. And that brings this song full circle. It's about being inwardly sinful and struggling, but on the outside trying to be someone else. Jesus actually warns the Pharisees of this kind of hypocrisy. For you are like whitewashed tombs, which indeed appear beautiful outwardly, but inside are full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. Matthew 23:27. So for that reason, I think that we have to be very careful to acknowledge our sin and our own brokenness without trying to fake anyone out. We shouldn't want to pretend to be someone that we're not just so that we can appear okay. I don't have much to say about Guns for Hands either. This song just seems to be about Tyler's concern for how easy it is for anyone to take their own lives. And in this song, he's trying to offer hope to anyone who's considering that. He's reminding us that we're not alone in our struggles, and that considering ending it all is a normal thing that people have struggled with for centuries. That doesn't make it good or okay, but it is normal to consider, and there is hope. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and saves such as have a contrite spirit. Psalms 34:18. This song acknowledges despair, but encourages seeking help rather than giving in to destructive thoughts. Trees is a key song to understanding 21 Pilots. It's crucial to their whole discography. All of these years later, they still choose to end every live show with this song. Usually, as artists release new music, they update their live shows and they change the set list around. Of course, 21 Pilots does that too, but the one staple they haven't moved in over a decade has been their decision to end every show with this song. That's how important this song is if you want to truly understand 21 Pilots. The lyrics are very simple, and I honestly don't have much to say about them because of that. But they're not stupidly simple. It's beautifully simple, by design. That's because this song expresses Tyler's lifetime desire to search for and seek God with his whole heart, even though God might feel distant and silent. If I had to sum up the whole 21 Pilots discography, it would be with this song. If you watch our video on their newest album, Breach, you'll find that Tyler is still expressing his desire to seek God. And you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. I'm just going to read all of the lyrics here because I think that they speak for themselves. But anyone who has heard this song before knows it's way more powerful to listen to than to read. I know where you stand, silent in the trees, and that's where I am, silent in the trees. Why won't you speak where I happen to be? Silent in the trees, standing cowardly. I can feel your breath. I can feel my death. I want to know you. I want to see. I want to say hello. This song very clearly expresses Tyler's longing to find God. He's standing silent, waiting for God to speak or to see him, because he wants to know him. And out amongst these trees, Tyler does feel God's breath, but he wonders why he can't hear God speak. The album ends with Truce. This is a short and quiet song about perseverance and holding on. Again, anyone familiar with the newest Breach album knows that this song also finally came full circle with the song Intentions, which plays Truce in reverse. Now the night is coming to an end. The sun will rise and we will try again. I believe that these lines are once again referencing Tyler's struggle at night. But the hopeful thing is that the night is coming to an end and he'll get a new chance to start again when the sun rises. It reminds me of this verse. Through the Lord's mercies we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. God is so merciful that the Bible reminds us that his mercies are new every morning. Until the day we die, we'll always get new chances to start again. And that's what Tyler references in this song. He also inspires us to stay alive and to keep fighting. Stay alive for me. You will die, but now your life is free. His encouragement that we will die but be set free reminds me of what happens in Christianity. The Bible encourages our old selves to die in the waters of baptism so that we can be risen again to new life and have freedom in Christ. And I can't think of a better place to end this video. This song encourages endurance and reminds us that life is worth living even in our darkest moments. Vessel is an album filled with spiritual depth, capturing the struggles of faith, doubt, and the human condition. Many songs reflect biblical truths, whether that's the fight against sin, the search for God, or the call to keep going despite suffering. If you like this video, please hit that like button and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Am I missing something? What's your favorite song on this album? And what would you like to see us cover next? If you'd like to help us keep making content like this, exploring the deep, often overlooked Christian truth and popular entertainment, consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Thanks for watching.